Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the laws of KASHRUS of Rabbi Yamin Forrest, and we're in the topic of Bishul Akum, of the food that was cooked by the non-Jew. And today we want to know, how could a Jew rectify the situation and make it into Bishul Yisrael, the food that is cooked by a Jew? Now he's going to have to give a Hagdam, an introduction based upon the words of the Gemara and the Poskim, and then he will get into how our modern day ovens and stovetops work. So shituv yisrael b'bishul. A Jew can partner up, can become involved in the cooking process as well. The only time that bishul akum is really going to be also prohibited is if the goy does all of the cooking on his own. And the Jew had no part at all in the cooking. However, if the Jew partnered in to some part of the cooking process, before the food was finished being cooked, the Jew removed the pot from the fire, and then the Jew puts the pot back on the fire. So it never would have finished cooking had it not been for the fact that the Yisrael put it back on the fire. Or in the beginning of the cooking process, meaning before the food even reached a level of Meichel ben Drusoy, which means, let's say, a third cooked, it's still much more in the raw state. He moved around the coals that were in, again, the olden day ovens, or he stirred the pot itself, even though that the non-Jew put the pot on the fire. The Jew had his hand in the cooking process. Maspik masha asa Yisrael lahatzi loy midin bishul akum. The Jew has done enough to rescue this food from being called bishul akum. She'achshav yizbashel bimheira, because now that the Jew is doing these things, he's increasing the fire, he's stirring the pot, the food is cooking faster, and therefore it's considered like it's his act of bishul, of cooking, and not solely the act of the goy, and therefore it's bishul Yisrael. Even if the Jew would throw a little splinter of wood into the fire, or there was a fire that was lit already by the Jew, and then the non-Jew comes along and he lights a flame from the fire that the Jew already lit, and through that fire he now cooks, so that's really considered Jewish fire. All of that is going to be permissible for a person to be able to eat. That's called Bishul Yisrael. There are those that write you should only rely upon this way in which to make it Bishul Yisrael if it's being cooked in the house of the Jew. And also it's only when it's a pressing time, but not in the house, certainly, of a non-Jew. And if there's other ways for you to get around it, you should turn on the fires completely. Since that there's a machlekes, there's an argument amongst the poskim, the halachic authorities, of exactly what to do. Go and ask your local Orthodox rabbi what to do in your own house. Now, if the non-Jew already finished cooking, even though the Jew continues cooking more, you did not fix up the food over here from being bishul akum, because there's already the prohibition of bishul akum that took place with the completion of the cooking process that was done through the goy. Yesh ladas, you should know. This is only for Ashkenazim. But those that are of Sephardic descent, they are machmer, they are stringent, that even if the Jew starts the fire, and the non-Jew puts the pot on the fire that was started by the Jew, nikra adayim bishul akum, the Sardim are much more machmer. That's still considered to be bishul akum, food that is cooked by a non-Jew. If the Jew doesn't do from the beginning more or less to the end, starting the fire and putting the pot on the fire, if the goy is the one who puts the pot on the fire, that's not good enough, and that would still be bishul akum for them. But for the Ashkenazim, it's enough that the Jew ignites the fire, lights the fire, even if the non-Jew puts the pot on top of that fire, that is still called Bishul Yisrael. Have a wonderful day.